Are you ready, Mr. Steele?
I was born for this.
Can you hear me clearly? You're hearing me loud enough?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Yes, it is Thursday again. We're here another Thursday, and of course, I'm back in the athlete's corner with the outstanding quarter miler, Mr. EDINO Steele. EDINO, welcome,
Oh,
welcome, welcome, welcome.
thank you for having me.
Welcome. And we're just going to get into the meat of the matter. We're not even going to waste any time. And, to kick things off, I just want you to tell me a little bit about your early days as a little boy, which parish you're from, where you grew up, and all that kind of thing. So give us some of the early days juice.
Well, thanks for having me again, Heather. I was born in Kingston. Um, I grew up in the Waltham area. I was fortunate to go to a preparatory school when I was younger. So my upbringing is very simple. I was raised by my grandparents and my three aunts. Um, I wouldn't say struggle living, but as most ghetto youths, we live to survive and go to school, play with your friends, and go do your work and do things back and forth, back and forth. Nothing really special. My little thing going up.
What
Um,
about sport? Did you play sport in prep school?
yeah, of course, that's where everything started from. I went to Lanneman's Prep. Excellence in all things. I still go back there periodically when I'm in Jamaica because it's the one place that I really, really feel like home. Um, let's see, track and field is always a part of me since I was young. But I was a part of the football team in Lanamans. I did ring game, I did basketball, I did cricket, I did every sport that was available to me at the time.
You were an energy bunny.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Growing up with sports, it kept me leveled. It always, that's the structure of it, always kept me going to the right place at the right time.
Indeed. Tell me a little bit about competing at prep school at that level. Did you discover track and field at the prep level?
Yes, growing up, I always wanted to be a long jumper.
Wow.
Yeah, and James Bedford was always a name that I heard when I was growing up. So when you're running, when you're getting ready to do the long jump, the first thing goes to your mind is I want to jump far like James Bedford and get it going. So long jump was really 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 what I was interested in when I was younger. But my principal, Miss Duane, she's actually still there at this moment too as well. Can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. She saw that I had a very good talent with the speed, and she always told me to go out and try my best. So even at the prep school level, I was actually good. Class three, I was champion boy in the 50 meters. And since going to Lannemans, there was always rivalry with me and Vaz and Mona Prep. So
Oh,
majority,
yes.
majority of some athletes that I competed with from prep school to the professional level, I knew them since back then. I knew Sonia Richardson when she was in prep school at Vaz too as well. So it's just to see that we came from so far to where we're at now is really
Mhm.
fantastic.
Segueing into high school, I I I did some research and it was telling me that you went to a certain high school. I'm not sure if my research is correct, but tell me a little bit about where you went to high school and how it happened for you.
Okay, well, I don't know what research you got it from, but I didn't really get to participate in high school in Jamaica. I did,
Okay, okay.
I did attend in Calabar for a little time, but after that, I migrated straight to the states.
Okay, so you're a rubber lot man.
Yes, 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 straight up to the heart. They always say once you go to the gate, you're always a rebel. Like,
Yes, yes. If it's even for a day, even
even
for
for a
one day.
day, you're always a rebel. Like, so I didn't get the opportunity to compete at champs as most athletes have been. It's
Mhm.
one of the things that really haunt me even to this day because I always wanted to run as a youth for the school that I love. But I went to high school in New York City. I went to Sheepshead Bay High School. It's in the Bay Area of Brooklyn, New York. And I didn't really take track and field seriously after I left Jamaica. I dabbled in baseball and basketball a lot, and I didn't like losing in those team sports. So I went back to what felt right when I was track and field. And you know, in my ninth grade year, it, didn't really do well. I didn't take it as serious as I should. And my 10th grade year, I was in McDonald's, and this wonderful gentleman looked at me and told me that, that he sees potential in me going to the next level. And I didn't really know what he was talking about. And he told me that if I stick by him, I'm gonna become a champion. That's his name is Trevor Green. He was my coach from 10th grade all the way up till I went to college. And even when I went to college, he was still a part of my life. I see him as another father figure in my life. And he took me from a little, well, I'm still Maga, a little skinny kid from New York that didn't really know a lot about the track and field and the ins and outs on track and field, how to train properly, what to eat, and how to compete against other like high level competition. And he took me on his wings. And for about 2 years growing up in New York, I didn't really lose a race underneath his belt.
So while you were attending high school in America, in New York City to be precise, did you hear about boys and girls champs back in Jamaica? Were you following the system to know that we have something called champs happening back at home?
Of course, you see the funny thing in New York is, they always the Jamaican roots is so strong in New York that it's always a way to find stuff out. And even having a little bit of internet at that time, I still could have read up on what was going on in Jamaica. And every Saturday or every Friday night and every Saturday, they always show the sports roundup in New York. I forgot what channel it was, and it always used to show who was doing what and who was running what time. And I always used to just compare myself to who was at that level at my age group at that time. And at that time, Usain is a little bit older than me, so he was the one that was reigning. And I was like, damn, that boy's fast.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And other people, Romaldo Rose, a good friend of mine, and Johan Blake, same age group as me, that they were doing their thing at that time. And I used to just look up to them and say, you know what, I can't wait for the chance that I get to compete against them.
So during that time, was there ever a time when you said to your parents or your guardian, I want to go back to Jamaica and finish high school to compete
It
in
it
champs?
it almost happened. It almost happened. But the thing was, my father didn't want me to come back to Jamaica because of how my stardom in the States was rising at the time.
Okay.
And the opportunity was coming along. I was school, and at that time, little small endorsements and going to travel to different states to compete, and all those stuff was going on at the same time, where I got it focused on what I need to do where I was at the time. But I almost came back for it would have been my upper sixth form year. It would have been my sixth form year to come back and just to run 1 year at champs.
Which school were you thinking of?
Oh, it's gonna be Calabar.
Calabar.
Yeah, it's not.
Yay! 61 Red Hills Road.
Yeah, it would be nothing nowhere else but Calabar to be exact.
But
Oh,
funny, I was reading up on you a while back and I saw something that said you went to Stets.
oh no,
And I didn't use that information because I'm saying Stets.
no, no.
I don't know. And I kept asking around, but nobody could tell me.
I
And I
know
said, okay,
know my grandparents. I grew up in the Waltham, and then we moved up closer to the Red Hill side. And my grandparents wasn't gonna send me to anywhere
to
farther than
board to board in St.
to board
Elizabeth.
anywhere. And the Red Hills Road was right down the street. And know my grandma and grandfather, they would have walked me to school every day before I went to country. So that was not going to work.
While competing in the States at the high school level, who did you idolize coming through the champs rank while you
Um,
were a junior?
when I was a junior, I mean, in my age group or someone else older.
Could
Well,
be between your age group and maybe a little bit older. Did you see anyone competing at champs that you're like, yeah, I idolize that person or
mm, Joseph Robertson.
Joseph? Okay, very
Yeah,
good hurdler.
Yeah, very good. I think Joseph Robinson could run anything 400 to be exact.
Yes. Yeah.
A good friend of mine too. He's a person that looked out for me throughout the years. Yeah, Joseph. I used to love watching Joseph run. It was a smooth hurdler, smooth 400-meter guy. Um, try his best to compete, but injuries is a part of the,
Yes.
and it cut his career short. But Joseph Robinson was someone I used to look up to as someone in my age group.
Cool. So your heart was actually in Jamaica at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always like the thing is, thanks for the internet. You get the chance to converse with majority of the athletes in your age group. And
Yeah.
then the first time that I actually came to Jamaica and to represent Jamaica as a junior for the CSE championship, you get to bond with a lot of them throughout your you get to bond with music and other sports and your likes and your dislikes. And Joseph was one of the person that when I came back to Jamaica, 2006, he actually took me under his wings. Joseph, Romaldo Rose, Tyreek Edwards, just name a few. They always like stayed around me quite a time when I came back.
Good support. Good support. Let us just segue a little bit into college now. Tell me about your college career quickly. Just kind of like what was the transition like from high school now into that next phase, which is
So,
college?
so like my college experience was actually great. I got into a system where I trusted the coach. He knew what he was doing, and anything that he told me to do, I actually did it. Coach Jim Richardson, he's a very good coach. Um, the first day at practice, he made me the captain, and it was an honor. It wasn't a big squad of a team, but it was an honor to be a captain. And I was not a captain of vocal. I was a captain of do what I do and train hard and making sure that I do the right thing properly. And it was a junior college, so it's not like you get as much support as you would as a Division 1 college. So the nutrition part took a while for me to get like going, but going to school in California and train every day and nice weather. I don't have to worry about the cold in New York, like how New York was cold. I can train outside every day. And it was picking up small details that he used to tell me about my running form and how I can maximize my distance and just giving to what he has to say to me. I learned a lot from Coach Richardson over those years I spent in California with him. Um, College was fun. I ran stuff that I never expected to run. I ran distance medley relay and ran the 800 meter legs. Like just for my college team to make the 4x8 team, I ran a leg on the 4x8 team, and just so they can go to a distant carnival in upstate in Santa Barbara. So it was really fun just to compete against and compete with those guys in college. And
How,
those are my friends. Those guys are still my friends up to this day. We talk every day.
how
So
did you choose the 400
I didn't
over
choose.
the oh you didn't, it chose you, right?
I didn't choose it. My coach tricked me into running the 400. It
He
was in
knows
high.
best.
Yeah, it was in high school actually. He sat me down one day and told me that I don't have a start. And even though I ran 10 10 4 and those fast times in 100, he said it's not gonna help me. I won't get any colleges running these times. So he sat me down one day and told me that we're gonna run some 400s and then eventually we're gonna go indoors and we're running 600. And I was like, sick coach 600? That's not gonna work. And for 3 weeks, Heather, I didn't go to training. I didn't go to training at all. And coach, he drove to my house one day and spoke to my mom. My mom was like, "Hey boy, you better do what your coach told you to do, cause this is gonna get you to where you need to get to."
Exactly.
And I did. I was like, all right, whatever. And what my coach did was he made sure that I ran it good. He made sure I competed against people that never beat me before, and to challenge myself. And when I know that these guys can't beat me, might as well just run it. And then eventually, when I got into my first year of college, it was just the 400. My focus was just on the 400 and the 200, but basically the 400. And I began to love it even more and more and more. It's the best event on the track. It's the
The
hardest.
400,
Yes,
yes.
it's the hardest event on the track. It's the event that I think every athlete should do to benchmark yourself. I think most sprinters that even in Jamaica now, most sprinters that are running 10 3s and 10 2s and 10 1s, they should go up to the higher distance because you can use that speed because that's what I had. I had that natural speed to distance myself and create the longevity that I had in my career to run the 400.
And
When
we've
I what
seen,
can
we've that's true. We've seen a lot of early season, especially in Jamaica. We see where a lot of our athletes over the last how many years opening their season with a 400 instead of their pet event, especially if they're sprinters.
Yes,
You know,
it
we see,
helps. It shows you where you're at in your training. And it says so much when you run the 400 in the beginning of the training
yes.
session.
And I've seen, I was able to witness a special race between you and Johan Blake. Um, Tell me about that race. Why did you do that to Johan? Tell me about that race.
Which one? You talking about the one that I did the push up or
No, that 400-meter season opener some
can't put up?
years ago. You
Oh,
won that race.
oh, okay. Why did I do it to him? Because he was in a race, of course. The thing is, training with them guys, there's always competition. That's the best thing
Yes.
about sports. Competition is gonna be always there all the time. And training with them, there's gonna be a lot of shit talking.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and in the beginning of every track and field season up there is always the sprinters versus the quarter milers.
Wow. And who won?
And majority of the time, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, the sprinters beat the quarter milers majority of the time because we're not ready yet. But the thing is, for that particular race, I was getting prepared to run the indoor championship, to run some indoor track. So Coach Mills already was preparing me to run fast. And I didn't expect to run that fast that day. But Johan and I had a little rivalry going on from time to time.
Beef.
Yeah.
Beefing.
We had a little rivalry go from time to time because he likes to run against the quarter milers. And I think it's well, I'm 3-0 because me and him ran against each other in the 400 about 3 times, and every time me and him run against each other, he's either he run out too hard or he just can't keep up with the pace. But I had to do
Yeah,
it too, of
yeah.
course.
Johan is very competitive. He's a
Very.
workhorse. Yeah, he is. He is.
He trains
You,
hard.
yeah.
He trains hard.
You went pro. You went pro 2007. What
Yes.
was it like training at the Racers track club with the likes of Johan? He joined, I think, 2010. There about 2009, 2010. Training with Johan. Training with the outstanding Usain Bolt. What was the family energy like at the Racers Track Club?
I mean, at races, I joined. I mean, I went pro '07, but I didn't join the races until 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, but and when I joined the Racers Track Club, um, it was so much great athletes there. So you couldn't slip up. Watching Usain and Johan train was a joy. Those 7 years that I was there was a joy to just watch them train. And watching Usain train and actually training with Usain for a couple of years to get my speed up, it's you can see why he's the greatest. Because when he puts his mind to training, you can't stop him. If Usain trained as much as Johan trained, Usain would have ran 9.3 in 100 and 18 seconds. But there was a specific time in Usain's training where he took it very, very, very serious. And that was building the foundation and keeping the foundation. So in the October, November, December likes of training, Usain took it very serious. And then the latter part of the training, the June, July, and August getting ready for the championship, it was a different type of person.
Business like.
It was yes, I'm coming to work. It was no distraction, no nothing going on. He came to prepare and work, and I admire that of him for all these times. And I always tell him that's one thing that I take from you is that when it came time for business, there's nothing else. You had the blinkers on like the horses do. There's no one that you can see, no one you cared about. You just
How
know that
did that motivate you, knowing that you were a part of the same training club with him and he was so focused when the time is right?
it made me motivate me to make sure that I was on the plane. That was the motivation. I'm not. The team is not gonna miss me, and that was my nickname. Once I make the finals at the championship, I'm not. I'm gonna make the team. So it motivated me to always just want to be around greatness, and I think most athletes should want always want to be around greatness, and to train alongside him. There was 2014, 2015. I actually got the point to train with him. Like when he was doing his 300s, I told coach I want to run my 300s with him, and coach allowed me to do it. And when he wanted to run certain distance with me, coach allowed him to run it with me. So we got a little small a great bond with each other at the latter part of me being at Races Track Cup. So it was a wonderful experience being at Races. Not just only Johan Blake and Usain Bolt. Rosemary White was very great.
Yes.
She was a good influencer. She always tried to motivate you to do your best. I trained alongside Gonzalez for 2 years. He was another
Right,
person.
right.
There's another person that it was great to run alongside him for the 2 years that I got. Ricardo Chambers, another person that was a motivator, was someone that to speak it.
Farmer
Come,
Ricky.
yeah, come and do it. You get me? Aladdin Father here, another person that I look a good friend of mine that trains very good at times, but championship performer. That's what I call him because he can train good and not run good in the season, but at championship he's gonna show up.
Indeed, indeed,
Uh,
indeed, indeed.
um, Warren Ware is someone that I used to live with Warren Ware at a time of my life, and and is a person that when he was focused in doing what he was doing, he reached to the highest of the pinnacle of track and field. Kamar Bailey Cole is
Yes, yes, yep.
another person that is humble as he is. He speaks few words, but few words make sense. And
How early did you have your Olympic dream? When did you know that I want to go to the Olympics?
2004,
Wow.
2004,
And
2004, I watched Jeremy Warner and how the way he like went from the college to the pro ranks and he was just dominating. And I was like, you know what? I think I can do that. I think I can do that. And other athletes that I competed against in America, LaShawn Merritt's a very good friend of mine. I competed against him since I was in high school, and it's funny when you see us from the high school ranks and we go all the way up to the top of the ranks. It's magical. As I tell people all the time, you can dream it, but you still have to do it. And you still have to
indeed,
sacrifice certain things to get there.
I've heard that many athletes, I talked to many athletes, and they told me that our trials, the Jamaica national trials, is one of the toughest event to compete in. And I think you're agreeing with me. Tell me about Yes, I've heard it. Ricky, I've heard so many athletes tell me that look, HP, the trials, the Jamaican trials is one of the toughest competition. Tell me a little bit about your experience
You,
at trials.
you know why trials is tough? Trials is tough because athletes can perform well throughout the season, and some athletes do not perform well throughout the season. And then when they come on Jamaican trials, they come with their best performances in the first round, and they be like, "Wait a minute, you didn't do this all season. So where did this come from?"
Indeed.
Um, Let me see. 2007. 2007 was hard because I was in the finals with Ricardo Chambers, Sanjay Ayer, Michael Blackwood. I think Leaford Green was in it too as well, and it was one of the hardest races ever. And I was in lane one, and I remember my mentor, Damian Clark, is actually my mentor. I remember
Davian is your mentor or was your mentor?
he still is my mentor.
He's on the live. He's actually on the live. He's
Dave,
a very good friend of mine. He's actually on the live.
I remember. I don't think he remember. I remember him talking to me because that was his last time at the trials in 2007. And I remember him talking to me because I got lane one. I was just worried. And I was like, man, lane one. And he looked at me. He was like, boy, which lane are you training at practice? And I was like, lane one. So you have lane one? No, go out there and run the race. And I was like, you know
Wow.
what? That's true. I went out there, and even though I came fourth at the trials, I ran a damn good race. And he was the first person to come to me and say, see, if you believe in yourself, you can run fast still. And I was like, you know what?
Wow.
That's true. And ever since that day, every national trials that I've been to, I've always been able to make the team.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. But that what he said to you, it speaks volume.
yeah.
It really speaks volume because as he said, which lane you're training?
Lane one.
Man go run your race.
One more in your race.
Beautiful,
And I
beautiful,
tell and I
beautiful.
tell people that all the time, even on social media when people are talking about lanes, I tell people lanes don't the person make the lane don't make the person.
Yeah.
You can win it from any lane. I've seen people win championship from lane one to lane eight. So you can win it from any lane. It doesn't mean nothing. Just run your race.
Lane, I'm glad you touched on the lane thing. Some people think that lane matters. Does it really matter or
It,
is it
it's a mental thing.
the
It's a mental thing. I don't think it matters. I ran 45 seconds in every lane from lane one to lane nine. I've won championship out of lane eight. I won championship out of lane one. I won races out of every lane as possible. It's just a matter of how you're mental and how strong you are. Just run the race.
Davian is letting out some of the secret here now. Davian is saying he was once your your agent.
It was my indoor season.
one
It
month,
was
1 month, Davian, you could only keep the job for 1 month.
it's good motivation, though.
Yes, Davian is a good guy, man. Davian is a big support of this platform. But you know what I like to talk about? I like to talk about athletes' achievement. And when I look at your CV, I'm like, you've been to the Olympics, you've been to World Indoors, World Championship, the Commonwealth Games, CAC Games, Carifta. You have personal best in the 100, the 200, the 300, the 400, the 800. Man, what were you doing?
I was running. I was running. I
Wow.
like to compete. I like to compete. And the 800. You see the funny thing about it, before I retired, I was dabbling, thinking to do the 800. I was thinking about doing it because with my race pattern and how the way I run, I think I could have um, lengthened out my career longer than I did. But the motivation wasn't there.
Wow. You even have personal best in the 4x1. How did you get on a 4x1 team?
Oh, funny thing. My agent, Alphonse Jup, he's from Bratislava. He's a good agent of mine. He's a good friend of mine. I talk to him every day. Um, it was a track meet in Poland, and he said he wanted to put on a show for the fans. And it was a bunch of us there. It was me, Rashid Dwyer, I think Nicholas Maitland was there, and Dane Hyatt. Yeah, it was us four. And he was like, "Yo, I want you guys to put on a show for us." And I was like, "All right." So I was telling him, I was like, "All right, let me run first leg." Like, "No, no, 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 Steele, it's your agent. You anchor the race. You put on a show for everyone." And there was a USA team there. I think it was me against Wallace Spearman.
Wow.
Yeah, it was me against Wallace Spearman, and we just went out there to that. It was just to have fun. I got cussed out for that 4x1 2 by Coach Mills, by the way. He told me,
What,
"Why
you
am I?"
guys lost? You guys lost the
No,
race?
no, we won the race, but he cussed me and said he didn't train me to run the 100 that day. Why am I running the 100? And I was like, "Coach, it's the ending of the season now, Coach. We're just out there to run a little fun." He was
Having
like,
some fun.
"Yeah." He's like, "All right."
Wow, you have done it all as far as I'm concerned, contributing to Jamaica's track and field legacy. Explain to me your feelings towards this, knowing that you are a part of our great legacy, because we have a great legacy in track and field. I don't know how many people realize that track and field Jamaica is a brand. Tell me how you feel knowing that you are a part of this great legacy.
It's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling to know that nothing can stop your history of what you did for the country. It's a
Indeed.
pride. It's a pride. For me to come back from living in the States for so long and then come back to Jamaica and to represent the country that I was born in, it was never a thinking process for me to go and compete for a different country. You know, um, I remember the day that I came to Jamaica to run at the junior championship in 2006, and I was met by the former, rest in peace, Dr. Aries, and a lot of people that was a part of the J3 at the time, and then a young person to get my first Jamaican kit. It felt great to even put it on, and I was like, "Yo." I'm gonna compete for Jamaica. And it's a good feeling to even when I come back to the States and I tell people that I competed for Jamaica, they're like, wow, really? A lot of people don't believe it sometimes. They're like, you competed for Jamaica? And I'm like, yeah. And when I tell them my name, I was like, oh, that's you. I'm like, yeah, 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 it's me. I was expecting this big, thick guy. And I'm like, no, no, it's just me. So,
Awesome.
so to be a part of a long history of Jamaican athletes coming from Herb McKinley all the way to the youngsters nowadays,
Mhm.
it's a great feeling that that history I'm gonna be always a part of, and you
Exactly.
and you can't take it back because I
Can't
did it.
can't erase it. Can't
You can't
erase it.
erase history. So it's always a great feeling. Always a great feeling. My kid. I think a couple of years ago, my oldest son, his friends didn't believe that I knew Usain. So he called me on FaceTime and I was like, Dad, I'm on with my friends and they don't believe that you know Usain Bolt. And I was like, oh, funny you call. I'm right beside him. And I just gave him the phone and he's like, he is proud to say, yo, my dad knew what Usain. And he used to run with him. And even at my old alma mater in California, Pasadena, there's a plaque of me of the Hall of Fame right beside of greats like Jackie Robinson and Skip Robinson and Mac Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, he
Wow.
went to Pasadena. So
Yes,
it,
yeah.
so it's great to have my pictures against other athletes from different parts of the world too as well. And when my son see that he's proud of it and I'm proud of it, that he can be witnesses. You know, I don't have to. It doesn't have to be a story where when the Jamaican people that never compete before that said they used to run fast and they don't have any kind of nothing to prove that I'm used to run, but them just said I'm just used to run. I actually have proof that I used to be a part
Yeah.
of something of a great legacy that Jamaica has thriving and is gonna continue thriving
And
for
you are indeed a part of that legacy. And it
that
will never change. It will
can't go no. It
never
can't.
change. How good was the sport to you? Were you able to earn from the sport, as in sponsorship, endorsement, that kind of thing?
I mean, I was fortunate enough to make a great deal of my shoe company. My first contract was with Reebok. Davian knows me and him was a part of the same agency group. Um,
Oh,
and
you mean Davian that you hired for 1 month?
he was, I was,
I'm just
we had
kidding.
the
I'm just
we had the
kidding.
same agent quite a while, and he the first contract that I had was very lucrative, and I was very much in a saving mode. And having kids make you ground to your level to make sure that you have something in the back of it. So it could have been better. It should have been better, but you can't blame what you make because of how much income that comes into the sport. And
Yeah.
not every athlete has the opportunity to make as much as the top
True.
athletes,
True.
you know?
True. True.
So you just
Rit-
have go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
just have
Sorry.
to you just have to get what you get and try your best to maintain it.
Indeed, indeed. Retirement. How did you know when to walk away from the sport? When did you decided that I've had enough? I'm going to do something else.
I went to training one day.
I think I'm going to like this story.
I went to training one day and I was sitting on the bench with Coach Mills, and we were just having a long conversation. And then he looked at me and was like, "But still, you're not gonna warm up." And I was like, "Coach, I don't feel it today." And he's like, "You?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't feel it today." And he was like, "All right." And me and him have a conversation till night came. And then I remember driving home and I texted him. I was like, "Coach, I don't think I can do it no more." And
Wow.
he's like, "Take a week, think about it." It didn't take me a week. I remember the day I just went on Facebook and I just sent a picture and I was like, "Yo, I'm goodbye track and field. I can't take it no more. I can't do it no more."
Just like that?
Yeah, I was like, I can't do it no more. It's
What
just the
year
fact.
was this?
I think 2018. I think 2018. Yeah, I think
Okay.
2018. Because I was gonna come back and do the. I was really thinking to come back and do the 800. It was really, really, really on my mind to train hard enough and see if I can run 145 and make the team and see if what I can do at a championship at 800. I was really thinking about it, and I just remember I wrote a post on my Facebook page and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I thank track and field for all this have done for me, but It's time
So
for me
did
to.
you have a plan when you made that decision? Did you have a plan where you're going to go next?
No,
Wow.
no plan. I remember I wrote the post. I went out with some friends the night after, went drinking a little bit, and then in the nighttime, I just said, all right, I'm gonna take a break, and I went to visit my kids in Costa Rica, and then just chill there for a little bit, and just try to reevaluate what I'm gonna do next. And it really took a while to see what I really wanted to do next. It really take a long time. I think most athletes have a time to adjust to what is next because we're so used to structure. We're used to waking up, eat your breakfast, go to the gym, coming back home, do some core work, go to the track again, work out, go back to the gym, do your homework, and then you do it over again for 6 days of the week. So the routine is stuck in your mind forever, forever, ever. So I just thought that I just needed time to try and break out the routine, to see what else I can do with the knowledge that I got. And I got into mentoring some young athletes, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this coaching thing because I'm still too competitive. And I'm gonna tell these athletes that they're not working hard. They're not working hard enough. And then
You're going to hand them some of your medicine, some of the medicine
yeah,
that you got.
and then I had a conversation with Grace Jackson one day, and she said I should. The things that I've learned, you're supposed to want to pass it on to others. It's the knowledge that I've learned. You need to pass it on to the younger generation.
All right, stop right there. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Looking back at your career, what would you have done differently? Looking back at your track career.
Yeah. Looking back at my track career, I would have, I don't know. I would have taken, I would have taken the the core workouts, the gym workout a little bit more serious than I should in the beginning of my career.
Not switching to the 800 earlier?
No, hell no. Looking back at my career, if I'd have taken my core workouts and my gym workout as serious as the track workout, I think I'd have ran a little bit. I think I'd have ran a little bit faster, personal best in all of the events that I performed in. It didn't take. It took me a while for me to believe in like the extra work would pay off. I thought that just doing the track work and performing well at the running training park was it, until I started training with Usain. To knowing that the homework, the things that I am not doing, other athletes are doing. The extra stuff that they're doing, I'm not doing, and vice versa. So that's the only regret that I have. Other than anything else, I don't regret anything else in that.
Super. We're going to talk about a little bit more, get a little bit more serious now. Tell me about some of the struggles that you've had and how you've overcome those struggles
Um, struggles.
or challenges, you know. Life is not perfect.
Not in getting the full support of competing for individual race at a world championship outdoors. Um, not getting to perform at the Olympics that I wanted to, how the way it should have been. Not getting the full support of the national association as we should have gotten.
And that would be my next question, you know, as an athlete or a former athlete, what was the support like for as a national representative?
Oh boy.
Tell me.
I don't think they're doing enough. I don't think they're equipped. I don't think their mind is equipped enough to try to do enough for the national representative in all sports, not just track and field. In all sports, I think that they're still behind. I still think that they're outdated in the measures that they're thinking of doing stuff. The Olympics is coming up right now, and there's no commercial. There's no promotion of track meets that's supposed to be happening in Jamaica.
No campaigning,
There's no
nothing.
campaigning to try to see if they can get sponsorship from other places other than the few sponsorship that sponsor Jamaica. There's no making sure that the athletes get the right support of visa and traveling. Those are things that we as young athletes been going through since early 2000 that athletes are still going through now in the 2023.
And it was happening before because
It was
I
happening.
have, yeah,
Yeah, it was happening before.
I have some senior Olympians on the line. On the Olympians before you were born. They competed in the 70s and early 80s and they went
It's
through
just,
the same
yeah,
things.
it's not the forward thinking of making sure that sports in general is getting what they're supposed to get. If you go on the website right now, there's supposed to be histrionics of past athletes that you can read upon. Some of these young athletes don't know athletes that I looked up to now. Some of them really
Mhm.
don't know. And when I used to go into
I'm going
school,
to stop you right there. I'm going to give you a quick quiz. Do you know the name Ruth Williams Simpson?
Rude Williams Simpson, no.
Yes. You don't know that name. Okay. She competed for Jamaica at the 1972 Olympics, the 1976 Olympics, and the 1980 Olympics. She
Oh,
is on the live right now. Do you
Montreal.
know the name Dorothy Scott,
Yeah,
genius?
I know Dorothy Scott.
She competed. She's on the live also. She
Oh yeah, I know.
competed for Jamaica 1980, 1984. You
Yeah,
know, so as you rightfully say, there are so many Olympians that we have coming from as far back as 1948 that the younger generation have no
no
idea
idea about.
who they are. There's nothing out there to educate the younger athletes that look, somebody actually did it in 1948. People, a lot of the young athletes might hear the name Herb McKinley, George Roden, because people continuously talk about those four gentlemen from 1948 and 1952.
Yeah,
But
but what about the rest? That's the thing. What about the rest? What about the rest? A lot of if I when I used to go to schools and talk to the young athletes, then when I used to bring up Davian, kids looked at me like, "Who the hell is Davian?" I'm like, "How the hell you don't know one of the greatest 4x4 runners Jamaica have ever had?" And them look for
mm-hmm,
me like I'm speaking French. I'm like, "Wait,
mm-hmm,
what's going
mm-hmm.
on?"
And Davian was just the other day. Davian is 90s coming into
Yeah,
the
it's
21st century.
yeah, someone I used to look up to, Davian and Michael Blackwood and Simpson and those guys. Those are guys that is they're
Yeah.
they pass along all the knowledge from what they learned to me growing up, and then my knowledge to you growing up. So that's the thing. I don't think they're doing enough. They should try to do more, and we're really behind, as a country that is rich in entertainment.
Before you go any further, someone on the live says George Carr. Do you know the name George Carr?
Yeah, I know George Gar.
Oh, you know George Carr.
Yeah,
Okay, Xavier, he knows that name. He
I know
knows
George
that name.
Gar.
And guys on the live, thank you for being here, each and every one of you. Thank you. Continue, Edino.
Yeah, I try my best to learn upon the histrionics of Jamaican past athletes, because I don't think they're not getting their due as they're supposed to. Everyone just know the shiny new things and not knowing how far we're coming from. That athletes that actually were on the podium too as well back in those days, that's not getting the love and appreciation they should get.
Some people, and I've heard younger fans say this, that some people think that track and field, Jamaica started doing well in track and field since Usain Bolt.
People don't remember that before Usain Bolt, Merlin Ati was the only one that was winning championship for us. Daniel Quarry is winning championship for us. My
Bert
coach,
Cameron.
Bert Cameron, my coach that coached me for 2 years, was winning championship for us. Dean Hemmings, someone that I used to talk to from time to time, was winning championship for us and on
Yeah.
the circuit. And the thing is, the great thing about YouTube is you can go ahead and research those things and see in those races, those clips of those past athletes that was performing well.
And
Everyone,
it's not their fault, is we do not have a system to educate them. And that was one of the reasons why I came up with this platform, because I realized that a lot of people are clueless about how rich our track and field legacy is. 2012 Olympic Games, you were on that team.
boy.
The 4x4 in the 4x4 rounds, maybe I should leave this to the end, but I'm going to say it anyway. On the 4x4, you did not run in the rounds, and Jamaica did not complete that race. Tell me how you felt about that.
I cried that day. I cried that day. I was sitting right beside passed away Lloyd Cohen. He was a coach of Great Britain, and I was sitting right beside him, right at the athlete stands, and we were sitting watching the race, and I cried that day. It was not more of crying of anger. It was crying of not trusting the team. Jeremy Ngajal is a very good friend of mine, but he knew he was hurt. But the thing was, the the director at that time, which was Mr. Quarry, they saw the heats came up, and they woke us up 2 o'clock in the morning to deliberate who four is gonna go out there and run. I believe at that time the six guys, well seven, because they included Leaford Green, the seven guys at that time, the six of us, that was one of the best 4x4 team that Jamaica had, because we actually had people that knew how to run relays. Riker Hilton was on that team, and Riker was coming from a great performance of running relays for his college. You know, Dane Hyatt was the national championship. He's a good relay runner. Um, Errol Nolan changed his nationality to represent his father's country, to represent Jamaica. Was a good relay runner. I myself, I think I'm a good relay runner. So we had a great team to go out there that didn't need Jeremy Gonzalez, but they panic, and this is what they always do: is panic. They did it in 2007 with Sanjay Air, which they took me off the team to make Sanjay Air run. You get me? He was injured at the time. Panic instead of us letting us go out there and perform well in the 4x4. That's one of the relays that Jamaicans have performed well over the years, is the 4x4 for men and women. And it hurt me at that time that they didn't even give us the opportunity for us to go out there and show them that we could do it at that time. And we could have done it. And to see what happened was, the next year when they allowed us to pick the team to go out there, we got the silver. And that's all most athletes want, is for us. We know each other more than the coaches know each other. We know who can run what leg, we know who can perform well on relays. It's not about this person and that person. Who's gonna make the country proud and get this medal? That's the most important thing when it comes to relay, you know.
Yeah, it
Maybe,
should be the first aim should be country.
yeah, first aim is country and getting this medal. The second, the next aim about money and them stuff, those things will work themselves out in the long run. Not, don't worry about that. But everyone,
Country first. Once
yeah,
you put on that kit, country first.
everybody wants to do it and everyone think they can do it, but some people just can't do it. Something about relay is not about. I tell people all the time, there's people that run faster personal best than me, and they can never beat me on a relay leg. I don't really understand it, because there's a different adrenaline system that goes through when you run a relay. It's
Let
a
me ask
different
you
thing.
let me ask you a question. When if a coach picks someone who they know that is injured for a relay, and that person agreed to go and run, who gets the blame? Who is held accountable if there is a failure?
The
Because
athlete, the
not
athlete, the
why the
athlete,
athlete? Why
the
the athlete
athlete.
is doing what they're told? Why
No,
would you?
no, no. But the athlete's supposed to know that the team comes first. There's
Yeah,
no
but shouldn't the director or the coach in charge? Because remember, you have a coach in charge. And if I am injured and the coach pick me and I say, okay, it's the Olympics, I am going out there to run and do my
you.
best.
No, no, we are. When we make team, there's a few kids that makes Olympics and World Championship team. All of us are grown, and all of us know our body. And if the body is not right at the time, it's supposed to be man or woman enough to say, "Coach, technical director, I am not feeling like I'm the best right now. I am hurt. I don't feel well. I don't think that it will be the best of my interest to go out there and put the team in jeopardy. I rather sit this one out and let someone else go out there and perform. Because in the long run, if we get a medal, I get a medal too. Because when you run at a relay team, it doesn't matter who runs, all of us gonna get the same medal. If you run the fine, once the team get a medal, every six person as a part of the relay group is going to get a medal.
So, Edino, you're telling me that you blame the athlete and not the coach.
Yes.
Mm. Mm-mm.
The athletes know their body well. The athletes
But
know how
but
to perform.
Edino, in the same breath, if a coach give a directive to an athlete and the athlete refused to do it, we are going to want to penalize that athlete because the athlete is not doing what they're told. So
Yeah,
where do you strike the balance?
yeah, but the thing is, the athlete is the one that's going out there to perform, not the coach.
But
Not the
Edino,
not the coach.
But
Not the
Eddie,
coach. You know the
you
coach.
and I know that any athlete will go out there and run injured. We will say, "Yeah, man, coach, you can do it, man. Yeah, man, coach, me can do it, man."
That's
Who
why the
is go?
athlete supposed. That's why the athlete is supposed to take accountability and say, "Coach, no, I don't
But
feel. I'm string not feel right today, coach. I'm string not feel
But
right today."
Eddie, the coach is like the parent, and I'm the child. And you, as the parent, have to say to me, "No, I don't think this is a good idea. Don't go there because you're not feeling well. Don't go to school together." So, if the athletes can do make these decisions, why do we need the coaches to go with the team?
To be fair with you, in my honest opinion, I don't think some of the coaches even go on the track to the team because some of them don't really know what's going on. To be fair, but I just believe when it comes to relay, athletes know each other as the best, and athletes can see it. An athlete can watch you and know that you know what him not look right, it don't look like himself. And if you as an athlete feel like I wouldn't go out there, me personally, if I don't feel right in myself, I'm not gonna put my team in jeopardy of probably winning a gold medal. That's not fair. That's really not fair.
It's tough. It's a tough spot because we all want to run. And I'm going to say we because maybe if I was an athlete, maybe I would have done the same thing because here I am getting an opportunity to compete at the highest level. Yes. And as many athletes have said, many athletes have competed injured before. They're feeling
Yeah.
a little something, but they go out and compete. And this is why we have to have coaches because a coach is supposed to assess the situation, see what is happening, and said, okay, you are injured. So if I put you out there, the possibility exists that you might just get injured in that race because you're not 100. So I am not even going to consider you. Why even consider that athlete when the athlete go out there and not deliver the way we want them to? Then we get mad at the athlete saying, and I've seen this so many times where people are selected over at other athletes to compete, and then it is a big,
Shit show.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
It happens. It doesn't happen to me. Majority of the teams that I've made over my career for Jamaica, it happens a lot. It's deliberation over deliberation of who's supposed to run, and there's jealousy, there's malice for no reason, there is there's a lot of thing that goes on when it comes to picking a relay team, and
Yes, I see that. I see
and
that.
the thing is I don't like it, and there's times where I've walked out of meetings of deliberation because it makes no sense.
Selection process. Let us start with the athletes first. You, as an athlete, as a former athlete, were the rules 100% clear for you, especially as it relates to relay? Because we're not going to talk about individual, because individual events, you basically select yourself, even though I've seen where people select themselves and other things happen. But were the rules 100% clear for you when you were competing?
Sometimes it depends. It depends on who the coach was at the time. It depends on who's the coach picking the team at the time that can come to you and sit down with you and talk to you and tell you what they expect of you. Um, in 2013, we had Clarkey as a coach, as the 4x4 coach. So it wasn't no deliberation. He came, he sat down, talked to all of us, and tell us how it's going to work. These four guys, I'm picking these four guys to run the heats, and if these four guys run the heats at the best that they can, we might switch in someone else. Or if this person feel like they want to come out, or if this person feel like that someone can do better than them, we can sit down and have a talk about it. You know. Um,
Before we go any further, one moment. Olympian Ruth Williams, she's on the live. Read that comment.
he said I agree with the coach's plan to make decision. on who takes the field.
Right. She's saying that she agree, and this is a three-time Olympian. She's saying that the coach is responsible to make a decision who takes the field. And I want to agree with that because that is why we put a coach on the team, especially as it relates to the relay. And
Yeah, but
let me
that's
tell you,
but we were talking about the injured. We're not talking about like
right.
if everyone's 100%. If
Yeah.
everyone's
Mhm.
100%, the coach has all authority to pick the best four people to go out there. There's always gonna be someone that's gonna feel or think that they're better than someone. But like
Mhm.
I said, when it comes to relays, especially the 4x4 relays, sometimes you have to assess who is actually good at running 4x4 relays. You have to look at it. You have to watch videos and tapes. And I tell people this all the time. Just because a person run 43 seconds in a 400 does not mean that they can split 43
And
seconds.
I agree with you, Eddie, I keep telling people this. We are boxed in where we use our top four for relay. Top four is not always the best fit. And I am, let me tell you, the people on the live know that the relay is my soft spot. And I don't want to get too passionate about it because continue, sweetheart.
Yeah, it's just I'm not saying when it comes to 4x4 relays, it's not supposed to be just the four fastest people that make the team. Some people are just very good relay runners. It's just how it is. It's how it's always been. I've seen it for a lifetime. I've seen Usain Bolt run 43 seconds splitting a 4x4 relay. Like I've seen a lot of people got the baton. Johan Blake can't run 400 meters. This person the best is 46 seconds. But if you give him something like a baton in his hand, I'll guarantee you he'll split 43 seconds.
And I've seen it with our juniors. And let's go back to the juniors a little. I've seen young Brianna Liston and Karika Hill run some serious legs on 4x4 for Heidel at girls champs and at the Pens relay.
See, and
And
then they
these
don't
young
run
ladies
400.
don't run the 400, but they can give you an outstanding leg on a
The,
4x4. And
it's
I've seen it so many
it's
times.
a different adrenaline when you have that baton in your hand. I tell people all the time, you don't. It's a different adrenaline. It's a different how to way to run it. You know how to distribute a little bit different when you're running the 4x4 from the 400. It's everything is totally different.
Yeah, we have so many. I could sit right here and pick a super 4x1 team, and it doesn't have to include our top four ladies. And even if it include our top four ladies, how they set it last year and this year, I would not have set it that
I
way.
agree too, and I agree too. I've said it all the time. When you look at how the way you're supposed to formulate a relay in especially the 4x1, there's certain athletes that are strong on the curve and certain athletes are stronger in the straight.
Oh my God! Thank you very much. Say it again. Say it one more time,
Certain
please.
athletes are strong on the straight and certain athletes are strong on the curve. So
Simple.
you want to put the athletes them that know how to run curve, Shelly and Fraser Price, to make sure you run the curve.
So you and I are not, we're not coaches. And we know this. I would love for them to give me the 4x1 team, especially the women at a championship, and say, okay, since as you have so much talk about the relay, we want you to structure this relay team to win gold. I would love for them to give me that. And I don't have to know anything about coaching to do that. I
No,
just know. And the thing is that we have 200-meter runners that doesn't run the 100 that we refuse to put in the relay pool. Why?
but
America put hurdlers in their 4x4 team.
and
They
that's
put
the backward.
800. They put
Remember I said
800.
that's the backward thinking that they think. That's the backward thinking of not using athletes that know how to run a certain thing. Get me? There's 800-meter runners that they're going to run the 4x4 if they want to because they're good relay runners. Rashawn Jackson it was a 400-meter hurler and he was always on the 4x4 team no matter what because he's a good relay runner.
One championship, I think it was an Olympic game. America on their male 4x4 team had three hurdlers. They had Angelo Taylor, they had it
Rashawn
was
Jackson,
Bershon Jackson and Karen Clement.
yes, relay
Three
runners,
hurdlers with 1/4 miler.
yes.
We continue to stuck in this little box where top four Top four at the trials in the 400, top four in the 4x1. Me tired of it.
Yeah. That's the selection.
Selection. Let us go to another
The
section.
coaches.
Edino. Selection for coaches for national duties.
Um, I think they should put in a system where every 4 years they switch out the coaches.
I think we should rotate them. Yes.
I think they should rotate the coaches, or yeah, I think they should use some of the coaches that actually are past athletes that are coaches, past athletes that are coaches
Say
to
that
use
again. Say that
past,
again.
past athletes that are coaches to use them because those past athletes that are coaches that are coaching big schools in America and coaching schools out here in Jamaica too that knows athletes well. And every 4 years, you interchange. You change it up. You change it up. You change it up. Because it's the same coaches that they pick since I was a junior to now to the senior
They're
level.
there for 10
It's,
years, 20 years, 15
it's
years.
like it's like the politics. They're just there. They're getting old and not infiltrating new ideas. You have to have new ideas and new techniques and new everything to level up to other countries that have new ideas and leveling up to new things. There's athletes my age that I competed against. Their coaches are part of the American team or coach
I
of the
can
British
give you
team.
a full list of retired athletes who are into coaching and they're doing a great job for other people and not us.
Yes, and it's not. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that other athletes that represented Jamaica are doing things for different countries.
Great things for other countries and they're doing well at it
And they're doing
also.
very, very well. They're doing very, very well. Even on
I
college, even majority of the college coaches that are in America now, they're doing very well.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mr. Williams, Davian, um, Lennox, like there's
mm-hmm.
so much coach.
Lasina. Yep.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
She's the Olympic champion because she's coach Toby.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
come
Mm-hmm.
on, you're not seeing what's happening since it's
Yep.
been going on forever. It's been going on
Ines
forever.
Turner is another good coach. Do you know the name?
Yes,
Do you know
yes,
the name? Ines
yes.
Turner.
Highness, look at that.
Or we have another Olympian on the live. Do you know the name? Etlin Tate.
No.
You better know that name. Outstanding from Veer Technical. Look here. You see, and this is what I keep saying. The younger, we're not educating the younger athletes, including yourself, about
Yes.
people who look here. Ethelyn Tate, who is on the live, she was one of them at the collegiate level. She was a beast.
See?
And she's very small. She's right there on the live. So, we need to do better in educating our youngsters. But
True.
when you were competing, where did you go to express your concern? Was there a system at within our federation where you could call and said, look, I have a problem with something and I want it to be addressed without any resentment or any punishment or any sabotage?
No, not really. You have to be brave enough. I was brave enough to always be able to
So
go
it
to the.
was like every man for himself. You fight your battle by yourself.
It was always if you're brave enough to go to the J3As and talk to them and tell them mine. Some athletes don't have the time to go through the system because they're not gonna get the response that they want to get. When you try to communicate and tell them what they're doing wrong or try to give them ideas of what they can do stuff, they don't listen. It's their way or no way. So that's why most athletes that they want to put in towards the Jamaican system, they leave and they go other places to get the knowledge that they have. I would love to be a part of the Jamaican sports system in track and field. Not even just track and field alone. I love to be a part of Jamaican sports period, because there's certain things that I've learned through studies and learned through other countries that they're doing that we supposed to be doing a lot of, and we're not doing it. The Jamaican reggae girls had to do a GoFundMe to reach the World Cup. That's disgraceful.
And yet we got upset with them when they talk about it.
That's
Why do people get upset when other people tell their
the
stories?
truth. Because it's the truth. And some people just don't like the truth. I remember one year I watched my good friend dads, Jason Morgan and Leaford Grid, came on TV and cried because I know their stories. I know dads had to work while he was competing, and he was not getting any kind of support from shoe company or nothing because it's a discus throw. They don't really get as much support because no one really care about field events like that. And we have a system here that could have put him in the right place, and he had to cry on TV to get a little notary. Come on, that's not good.
And then people get mad at you.
And then when you come out and you speak the truth about certain things, they look at you like you're trying to put them underneath the rug, and that's not the case. We want you guys to be better, not for us alone, but from the little athletes that are coming up too as well, because they're coming up. They're coming up. I told someone the other day, Jamaican track and field on the women's side is going to be good for the next 30 years.
Yeah. The women don't take any break. The women
Yeah,
just keep going.
for
They're
the next
just,
for the
yeah.
next 30 years. And I told a couple of people, just remember the name Latrice East, Lanneman's Prep School Production. She's at Woolman's right now. Just remember that name. She's fantastic. Serena Cole and all those little young girls that's coming up, they're gonna be coming up, and they're gonna go through the same type of position that we came through and the other old athletes have came through
And
too.
we need to call them out. We need to call them out to fix it before this new breed gets into
But the new breed
spotlight.
is here. The new breed is here. I tweeted it. I think I tweeted it at the World Championship that this is the change of the guard. The
You
older
did.
athletes now, just like how Davey had to retire and give me the baton, and I had to retire and give Donkey Man the baton, and Donkey Man had to give Antonio Watson the baton, and it's gonna keep on going like that.
Keep going.
It's gonna when you get to a certain age now, it's time to let it go for the younger generation and take up that mantle. And if they take up the mantle now, they're under these younger kids, they're different. If they don't get what they really want, guarantee you, and I said it all the time, I guarantee you they're gonna find ways to leave Jamaica and go run for a different country. And that's that we do not want that.
No, we don't.
We,
Even
we
though
want
it has been happening, but we don't want
we
that.
do not want to lose the top ones to the top ones that's gonna make themselves proud for the black, green, and gold to go do it for a different country and a different flag. That's not right.
Do you think the powers that be, our federations, do you think they recognize that the athletes are the most important assets of the federation?
To the country,
There
sports,
you go.
sports and entertainment, sports and entertainment, tourism, food, and culture. That's what Jamaican is all about. Sports and entertainment. Because every sport that Jamaican actually compete in, we actually do well in majority of the sports that we do. The only team that really is not really doing what we expect them to do is the regular boys. But every other sport do what they're supposed to do. The rugby team is great. The basketball
Indeed.
team the basketball team is building. The netball team is doing great. Track and field is always gonna be great. Other sports that we're taking a part of, we're doing good at it. So why
Yeah.
not why not try to see if we can punch in the money inside of that so that
D-
the country can look better. Because
do you think
the better we do, is a more tourism that comes in the country, and tourism build the country.
exactly, exactly? Because as it is right now, I see where you have athletes from other country in Jamaica having the time of their life.
Everybody come to Jamaica. It's a proud thing. No one talks about other Caribbean country. It's one of the best things.
We are the most popular
When you
country,
talk about when I tell people I'm from the Caribbean,
Caribbean.
oh, you're Jamaican. Yeah, okay. They don't say, oh, you're from Bahamas, oh, you're from Trinidad. The first thing that comes to mind is, oh, you're Jamaican. They don't
Listen,
talk
you
about
have
no one.
some of the Caribbean countries, they are so upset with us because once their accent is heard here, the first thing someone asks is, you're Jamaican? Or if they say, no, I'm from X place, the first thing the person say is, yeah, I have a friend from Jamaica, and the conversation just go to
They don't.
Jamaica. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So
we need to recognize that we're a brand.
I saw Fitzroy Dunkley. He's a former quarter miler.
Yeah.
He said that if we have a I want to say a auditorium where all of the history of sports,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
where
mm-hmm. We've
where
talked
other
about that.
yeah, where people can come and see the great athletes from all sports and learn the history of sports, that would be so beneficial for the country
Mm-hmm.
and for other athletes and for Jamaica itself, where we can
Mm-hmm.
go and learn about all these athletes that you're telling me about that's on the live. I don't know majority of them, but I would love to learn about them to see
Mm-hmm.
what they did for the country, how fast
Because
they were.
somebody's actually on the live calling you. They're like, I can't believe EDINO don't know Ethelyn Tate.
So I'm not gonna lie. I'm
but
sorry. I'm
but let me
sorry.
tell you, it's not your fault. It is not even your fault. Is the we should have listen, we have a ministry for sport, we have the JOA, we have the J3As. They are supposed to be putting, let me tell you, between you and I, and this is not even between you and I, because everybody watching, but I have a blueprint for a museum, a track and field museum.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
that I don't have the money. If I get the right sponsor right now, I have a blueprint on paper for a museum, to set up a track and field museum. But guess what? I don't even have the money to put it in place, because there's so many athletes out there and their story and what they have done for Jamaica. But you guys don't even know. And another thing I realize is that some alma maters, they are not recognizing their athletes. They don't have anything in the school to show that, okay, Edino went here and he did this. Usain Bolt, maybe some of the schools have it, but majority of the school, because I remember Aileen, I think somebody told me their story, and they said that they St. Mary High did not promote Jackie Pusey the way they should have. And
Wow.
do you know the name Jackie
I know
Pusey?
Jackie
I
Busey.
hope you know that name.
Jackie Busey.
Jackie Pusey is another outstanding Olympian.
Yeah, yeah.
She made the Olympic team as at 16 as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not your fault if you don't know some of these athletes, but the powers that be need to ensure that this information is out there.
But it would be so nice to learn about them. It'd be so
Mhm,
nice to learn about them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to be around Coach Mac for a little bit of while. I felt nice to be around Coach Mac for a little bit of while before he passed away. It was nice just to be around. And
Yeah.
it would be nice if the sports federation and all the athletes, all the Olympians, all the Jamaican Olympians, were supposed to come together at least once a year and have a celebration of all the Olympians.
Yes, I
Because
totally agree.
not everyone can say that they've been to the Olympics or been Olympian. Not everyone can
Hmm.
say it's a special thing. A lot of athletes that competed even in America that made the finals to a championship years and years and years and years never made the Olympics. It's something
Indeed.
that's instilled in you. I have a tattoo of an Olympic right here on my arm because I made the Olympic team, and you can never take that out of someone's soul. So
I don't think we are loving up our athletes enough. I don't think we're making our athletes feel special enough. As a national representative, do you feel special to the country?
no, not really. I still got to pay money to go to the side of the stadium. In
Say
order
that
for me,
again. Say
in,
that again.
in order for me to go watch boys and girls champ, I still pay my money to go inside of the stadium. I can't call someone and say, yo, I want to come watch the track and field guys, and I do it willingly sometimes. I still have to pay to go inside and watch all comers meet sometimes.
I'm going to share a little story with you. Just 30 seconds. I went to Eugene last year at the World Championship. And when I look, I could identify so many Olympians for America. You know what they all had around their neck?
A nice little
Accreditation,
print.
accreditation to
Yes.
come into the meet. And accreditation means that them come in free. There were so many of them, the Maurice Green, the David Oliver, so many American, and I know them, Wally Spearman, all of them. They were there with their accreditation.
Cause all they have to do is just make one phone call and say, I want to come watch. But no, champs this year. I paid. I called someone and asked them, hey, can I get a ticket? And no one said nothing. So you know what I did? I just said, okay, cool. I went to the stadium. I bought the season pass and just went and just watched what I needed to watch, and that was it.
It's I don't know. It breaks my heart every time. And
It is what
people
it
know
is.
that is a very I have a very soft spot for track and field and our athletes. And I don't even think we recognize what it means when you can have all three of your athletes in a 100-meter final at the Olympics and all three of them cover the podium. No other country has done that, and we have done it twice.
Facts. Facts.
We had a 1, 2, 3 in the men's 200-meter right in the middle of Independence, Jamaica 50 2012.
Facts. I was there. I was right. I was at the finish line. I was
Yes.
very nice. I was at the
I
finish
don't
line.
think we
Very nice.
understand what it is that we have as a country. I don't know. But let us talk about Budapest a little bit. That
Mm.
just concluded. How could we have avoided that clash with Taekwondo Tracy and the coaching staff? Because it's not a
I,
secret anymore.
first of all, I'm glad that Taekwondo spoke out. Taekwondo is a good friend of mine. He's a good athlete. He's very humble. Um, I'm glad that he voiced his opinion on what was really going on. Someone need to speak out. Um, I think that they should have had better communication between the athlete and the director and the coach.
Who dropped the ball? Who made the mistake?
The director, the coaches, because they brought an athlete that did not perform at the championship, that didn't run any type of times throughout the year. That's favoritism. I don't like favoritism. If you do not earn your spot, you're not supposed to get a spot. There's a reason they call it trials for the championship.
He was there, but he finished down in the pack.
Yeah, but
But
it
he
doesn't.
wasn't selected. He
He
wasn't a
wasn't.
part of,
He wasn't
right?
a
Yeah.
part of it. Taekwondo
Yeah.
trader was traced a part of it. And if
Before you go any further, see Olympian Ruth Williams Simpson, she's saying that the track and field museum is a good idea. Let us brainstorm and get ideas about sponsorship. See the
I like that.
Olympians.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
But
yeah. Back to
I'm glad that Taekwondo spoke out about it.
yeah,
I spoke to him right after he spoke. He spoke on it. Me and him was talking through dialect, and I tell him that it's good that someone is gonna come forward and speak what's really going on
yeah.
when it comes to selections of team and favoritism. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, there is favoritism. There is favoritism when it comes to certain athletes and certain coaches for their athletes.
Especially when it comes to the relay.
Yes, especially the 4x1 relays. There's always been favoritism. And it's not good to be. That's why I think that every 4 years is supposed to be a recycle of coaches, and the personal coaches, because there's personal coach that goes there. They shouldn't be involved in the team.
That
They
was
should
my
stay,
next question.
yeah.
That
They
was
should
my
stay.
next.
They should coach your athlete and don't get involvement in the team aspect of it, because you're not. Some coaches not equipped with what's going on. If it's
And
if it's if it's Coach Mills or Stephen Francis or Paul Francis, that's fine, because they actually know what they're talking about. But some coaches, they shouldn't get involvement in certain type of team aspect. They should just coach their athletes and stay away from Team Jamaica.
again, whose fault is this? Is it the coach? Woo! Edino. Yep. I got you. I come right back to you. Whose fault is it? Is
For
it the
that, for
coach
that,
who accept the invitation or the people who selected that coach? I'm waiting, sir.
I mean, I'll blame the coach for that one. That one is a
No,
coach. I'm not gonna
which
blame.
coach is going to turn that down? No coach is going to turn down being technical director
Yeah,
to a
but sometimes,
global championship.
sometimes you gotta just put your. This is the thing, right? It's good. It's sometimes, yeah, you feel proud that you're a technical director, but not everyone's suitable for the job.
Listen, and this is why the people who are appointing them need to know the right fit. And that is why I said I would not blame an athlete to go out there, go run if coach select, because the coach would have known that the athlete is not at their best. So in this case, I am not even going to blame the coach for going, because the coach can just get up and say, all right, I'm going to Budapest. I'm going to the Olympics. No,
That's
you
true.
have
That's
to
true.
appoint them.
Yeah, that's true. And whoever who's in charge of appointing these coaches
Should
and
be held
directors
responsible
be
when they do not
responsible. So
perform.
that means
Yeah.
that we should help the president of the J3 responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the one that picked the technical directors and the head coaches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
should
Mm-hmm.
hold him responsible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in this case now with Taekwondo Tracy's saga and stuff, who really dropped the ball there?
I
Was it
mean, to be fair, the four individuals that ran for the men's 4x1 team, they were the best suitable for individuals. I love Taekwondo Tracy, but he wasn't he couldn't make that. Them four guys did their best.
but remember Tracy said it's not what they did, but how.
Yes, and I think that to bring that's what I said, bringing someone that didn't make the team, he didn't make the team. The person that they brought in didn't make the team. Didn't make the team. Even I said it on Twitter. I would have put what's his name, the guy that ran 200, Hudson.
Hudson on the
Yeah,
curve.
I would have put Hudson to run third leg instead of someone else. I would have put him at third leg because he's a very good turn runner. And I said it, and someone said I'm crazy, and I was like, all right, well,
And the
um,
same thing, you know who I would have put on the curve? Kevona Davis.
yes,
For the
a person that knows how to run a curve. Get me?
Mhm.
I would have put because you have to see who fits and who fits. I would have put the Andrew Hudson to run the curve. I would have make
I
him run the
think,
curve.
I think, and this is my personal opinion, and I've been observing the 4x1s for a while. I think we continue, and we've said this before, we continue to go with top four. Top four is we still have not gotten really running down to a T. We don't know, we still not aware of who can do what on which leg. You see that team that we set up 2004, maybe you were in grade 2 2004, when we set up that female team that won gold in Athens with Tanya Lawrence, Sharon
Rona
Simpson,
Simpson,
Aileen
Ailey
Bailey,
Bailey,
and
and
Veronica,
ECB.
that
Yeah,
was a perfect. That was what you call perfect. Tanya was the one with the bullet start. Sharon has good speed on the back. Aileen is a beast on the curve, and of course we
always
know,
been,
and
always
all,
been.
of course we know what VC can do. That was, I don't know who set up that team. I think I heard that Glenn Mills was the coach for that team. I think that was
Hey,
what I heard.
the
That
guru
was a
knows his thing.
yeah, that was a super setup, and he put people where their strength
Yes,
lies.
like I believe Brianna Williams should always be the first runner
Mhm,
out of the blocks because she's the best block
mhm,
start runner we have besides Shelly Ann. You get
mhm.
me? She's the person that's supposed to come out the blocks. And at Budapest, I would have kept Elaine in the finals because Elaine ran well in the heats. Why do not keep it Elaine in the finals? Shelly is good turn runner. Shelly's a great turn.
I I would love for somebody to explain to me why Elaine was removed from the team. I would just like to hear the explanation for
It
that. That
wouldn't
is
be.
all I
I
want to know.
guarantee you, it wouldn't be no clarity or explanation.
I would
I,
love some
I
clarity on this one.
guarantee you, it wouldn't be clarity at all. It'd be someone saying, "Well,
She didn't make the top four,
we
you
didn't make the
know.
top four, so we had to go with the top four, and that always just make my head just go."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so,
Indeed, indeed. Was Tracy wrong to speak out,
no,
speak about his concern?
I think athletes should. I think more athletes, especially us Jamaican athletes, to speak out more and not just go with what's not just go with the flow. They should speak out more because it's their career. He's
Why is
more
it why is
more
it that
athletes
there's
to speak
no
out.
voice? Why is it that there's no voice for the athletes? I've seen other sport have players association. Why is it that track and field doesn't have an athlete association where when something happens, the athletes can be represented fairly?
Because I think Jamaica is 20 years behind everyone else. And no one, and they're not thinking, like I said, they're not thinking ahead. We're really, really behind in everything that we do in sports. Every single thing that we're doing in sports in Jamaica, we're 20 years behind the rest of the world. We're 20 years behind the rest of the world with everything we do. We do not have proper sponsorship. The stadium look like crap. Every year we have to be fixing little bit of the track. We have to reach out to other people to help us. Which not supposed to. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
There,
There's no sustainability plan. There's no
no,
plan for funding to sustain our
it's just
infrastructure.
okay. The Olympics is coming up now. Let's do it now. We're not thinking about okay. The Olympics is 2024. 2024. All right. We need to think about
No
2028.
strategic, no
Yeah.
strategic planning.
No, it's just let's go with the flow, and going with the flow is not gonna get you anywhere. It's just gonna keep us where we at, 20 years behind the rest of the world. We support other country has relay camps. They have relay camps throughout the year. We're supposed to do the same thing too. Not everything is you're supposed to follow, but certain things you're supposed to follow because it works. We're not supposed to be going through, like I said earlier, we're not supposed to be going through visa issues for the athletes. Them, the athletes are
Yes.
supposed to have visas for long time. They're
Mm-hmm,
supposed to have it
mm-hmm.
long, 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 long time. Not
Yes.
supposed
And when it's about to expire, then you renew
to
it.
renew
Yeah.
it again. You
Yeah.
try your best to see if they can get 5 year visa or 10 year
Or
visa.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you need the athlete needs to go to the Schengen visa and their British visa. Those are visa you're supposed to have in your passport. That's why Racers Track Club, I guarantee you, Racers Track Club made sure that we as athletes we had all of those things covered, so we didn't have to depend on the association. Coach Mills made sure that all of us that he knows who's gonna make the team. He made sure all of us had that covered before the championship.
Plus, Europe is a big part of the pie where you guys
Yes,
make money. You have a
that's where
lot
we
of.
go and make money. So even if we
Mhm.
do not make the team, you still have to go to Europe to make your money.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure those things are covered. But not every athlete has structured has Racers Track Club or as MVP. Some athletes has to go to the association to make sure that everything is on. They have everything together, so they don't have to stress. So when they're there, they don't have to worry about me have to come back to Jamaica for get visa now, and then them come back to Jamaica for get visa, and it take
Take
long
forever.
forever for get the
Championship
stamp.
start and they're still in
Championship
the
start.
country.
Yeah, I remember 2007 for Pan Am Games for Brazil. It took us. It took me a whole week for me to get a visa, and I reached Pan Am Games in 2007 in Brazil. I reached the day, and I had to compete that day, and I ran like crap. I reached the day, and at the day they picked me up at the airport. I had to escort me, police escort me all the way to the stadium. 15 minutes to warm up, and I ran. I knew I was gonna run like crap. I just came off the plane. I just came off a 15-hour flight. Of course, I'm not gonna run good. It happens pointless over athletes that needed the help from the association. You
Mm.
need the help, and if you're still gonna think of the backward ways to just wait and the appointed time to get things done, nothing's gonna get done, and the athlete's gonna show up sluggish. 2014, same thing happened to an athlete, Akeem Gauntlet. Reached Commonwealth late, ran like crap. The relay became fourth because he wasn't ready. He was
There's no
there.
forward. There's no forward planning. There's no forward
No,
planning.
and it's the same rotation of people. It's the same people that's in the association. You need to get rid of some of these old heads and put in young ideas that's gonna think ahead and saying, "Yo, we need to get this done. We need to get this done." The museum, we need to get a museum so people can learn the athletes. We need to get better sponsorship. The track need the stadium need to be. We can't wait for the government to do everything. The association can do it too. The track needs to get done properly. The track we need to make sure that there's different tracks all over Jamaica. There's not the stadium not supposed to be
Yep.
this. The stadium is not supposed to be used for every competition.
I totally agree. We should be traveling to places for competition. I mean, look at
Competition
that.
all over,
Look
all over.
look at
The
that
mobile stadium is
facility.
there. I
Look
see
at that
people. I see
facility
people
in
driving on the.
Trelawney.
Yeah, I see people driving on the mobile stadium the other day. That's disgusting. Come on.
Look
It's,
at the facility in 2006 or whenever they were building that for 2007 cricket.
yeah.
I went to the cricket opening ceremony, and as I walk into the facility, the first thing I said to my friends, I said, how could we build a facility like this without a track? And Jamaica is a track and field country.
Thank you. Don't have no track and field. There's only one good track in Jamaica.
No track.
Get me?
It, it, it,
Can't just always want to use a stadium or a stadium east or upper Usain Bolt track at UE. Those are the only and then you have JC. If it was the Old Boys Association, they built their track. Calabar have a track known for the high school kids. KC has a track known for the high school kids. Monroe School's a big school. They're supposed to have a track for their system too as well.
There's
All
no
this
stadium in the West. There's none in Central. There's
backward thinking, as you're saying, no
we
development for the
yeah,
sport.
yeah.
So what's gonna happen? It's gonna the same thing is gonna happen all the time. The kids gonna run on
We
bad
need
phys-
some people to think. We need some thinkers. We need some visionaries and those things that we don't have. Oh my God. Sometimes sometimes I have to just not say anything because I might just say
the
the
wrong
wrong
thing.
it's not even the wrong thing, but
It's the right thing. It's just
people
the
will
truth.
get in their feelings
No,
and all those,
the truth,
you
the
know.
truth, the truth, the truth hurts people the majority of the time, and it's the truth. We need to develop the sporting system in Jamaica so the athletes them can be less injured when them less injury for the athletes them. There's a lot of athletes them from my from my existence and even now existence. They don't have the proper facility to train and them get hurt all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
gonna get hurt, and then when it's time to perform well, the casual fans they're gonna cuss.
Yeah.
Say, look how him slow. Look how
Yeah.
she's slow. And look how them us always hurt, and they don't even know what's going on behind the scenes.
And this is why I keep saying to people, do not trash the athletes, do not cuss the athletes, because sometimes we don't know the situation that we just don't know what kind of
You don't know if that
situation
athlete,
is going on.
you don't
Yeah.
know if that athlete eat today. You
Yeah,
didn't
we
even
don't
know.
know.
You didn't
Yeah.
even know there's a lot of athletes right now that do not have shoe company sponsorship. They have to work a 9 to 5 job just to compete, to do something that they love. Not only in Jamaica, even America too as well. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
athletes that don't have proper sponsorship that still have to
Hmm.
work a 9 to 5 job just to do something that they love. And we are a small country, and we look about Batalawa. We are a small
Yep.
country that can do so much more than what we're doing now for the sporting system in Jamaica. Not
Do
just
you,
track alone.
yeah, do you think this will ever change? Do you think we will get better? Because the sport is evolving, but we are not evolving with what is going on.
It only will get better if we have a strong mind leader to lead us. We are only as strong as the person that is above.
Yeah, yeah. We
Can't just
need, yeah, we need leadership that is
we need
about country.
we need someone in the association that did it, that knows it, that not just someone that just think that they know because they know the business aspect. We need someone in the association, in all sports association, that knows it because they lived it. They know how it is to go to Bottrop, Germany, to run on a 6 lane track, just to compete, just to make €1,000 so they can provide for their family. They need someone that knows the training aspect, that knows what's going on. You need someone that knows the business aspect that's not going on. You need someone that knows the PR aspect that know how to get proper sponsorship from different companies. Puma Puma is supposed to be our biggest sponsor because majority of our great athletes are Puma representation. We can
Do you
get
think
sponsors.
we do you think we understand the business side of sport as a country?
No,
No.
we're not
I
doing it
agree.
right. We're
Mm-mm.
not doing it right. We're not doing it right. We don't have sponsorship from shoe companies. We don't have sponsorship from drink company, Powerade or Gatorade. We're supposed to have those sponsorship because we have the best athletes in the world. We literally have the best sprinting athletes in the world.
We do, we do, we do.
It's only country that can compare with us when it comes to sprints is the Americans. And when Jamaica is on top shape, they can see us. We proved that for a long period of time. We proved it. That
And the thing is, I like to use data, EDINO. And when I look at the 21st century, we've had 5 Olympic Games, and Jamaica won 4 of the 100 meters. Four. Shelly and twice, Elaine twice. We've won 4 of the 200 for women. Veronica twice, Elaine twice. We've won 4 of the 100, 4 of the 200, and we've had 5 Olympics so far since this era. The other 100 went to Europe. You see
mm-hmm.
where I'm going with this argument?
Uh-huh.
We are the top in female sprinting
Yes.
over for this era, the
Yes.
21st century.
This
And we are still doing things. And when you look at the men's side, five, we won three with Usain Bolt, three in the 100, three in the 200.
mm-hmm.
We are the top of sprinting with our men and our women at the Olympic level. And that is just the Olympic I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why is it that we are not motivated to do more as a country to ensure that our infrastructure, our system, our rules, the people that lead, why are we not trying to ensure that these things are going in the right direction?
I think and I believe that if we really want to change, I think all of us, all the sports fanatics that's involved in Jamaica, all the past athletes, we have to come together to make a change. And
Mm-hmm.
if we come together and say we want to make a change, I think a change can happen.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, I really believe that if all of the past athletes, if we reach out to all the past athletes and say, yo, we need to make sure that this system get better. We need to be on par with the other countries that are on par with every aspect of sports, medical facilities, training facilities, proper coaching. Like we need to be on par with that so we can continue the trend. So the younger generation, I said, that's coming up, they don't have to worry about so much things. They don't have to worry
Some
about.
someone on the live is throwing out a question to you. Would Edina want to be a part of the J3 executive?
I would
Would
love to
you
be.
would you take up a job there?
I would love to be. But the thing is, I'm crazy, If I'm gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna fire a bunch of people because a bunch of people need to be involved in it. And I know, I know the people that I can bring that knows the sports very well.
And that is what we need.
That that knows how to bring in what we need to bring in. Carol, you know Carol Beckford.
Yes, I know Carol.
Carol,
Yes. Yeah.
Carol would be a perfect person to be involved with the J3 because she knows the personal relationship
I've
part.
said it to Carol
You
before.
know?
I said, Carol, why are you not the president of the
Yes,
J3s?
Carol
I
would
said,
be
you
great.
need to go and run.
I think Grace Jackson would be a fantastic part of the J3s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think Maurice Wignall would be a fantastic part of the J3s.
Yeah.
I think my mentor would be a fantastic part of the J3. I think Maurice Smith, our decathlon athlete, would be a fantastic part of J3 because they have the business aspect and they know
Yes,
because
and
they've
that's
been
what we
there.
need. Yeah, and they've
They've,
done that.
and they've done that and they know the
Mhm.
business part because they've done it too as well as bringing up athletes and coaching and the business side and how to develop what we need to develop. They've been a part of it.
Someone on the live is asking, welcome, Monica Lewis. She's asking which school you ran for. You want to answer that?
See bar.
CBAR.
One lion.
Monica,
But
he went to Calabar briefly.
but the thing is, we need that. We
Yes,
need
we do.
those former athletes and people that knows the sport and people that are invested in the sport to be a part of the association and get rid of these old heads that don't know nothing. They're not integrating anything. They don't have no new ideas. Nothing.
Yeah,
It's just the
yeah.
same old thing. They're just doing the bare minimum to get out to get around.
If you were to advocate for change, I know you've said some of the things already, but if you were to advocate for change for the greater good, what are some of the changes you would propose?
For Jamaican track and field, or just track and field
For
itself.
Jamaica track and field, yeah. What are some of the things that you would propose to the current federation?
I think we are in the digital era where we're supposed to be able to have a documentary series of athletes, past and present. I think we need more interviews like this with past athletes and future athletes that people can sit and watch and listen and observe and learn. Um, I think we need more and better sponsorship for the country, the athletes, not just Grace and those sponsorship that is doing it. We need more. We need to look like a NASCAR billboard and how NASCAR cars have this full sponsorship. That's how Jamaica should be. We're supposed to be just a billboard of the sponsorship all over. So the athletes and the federation can stress less about the money and more into the athletes and the preparation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the voting system for the J3A should change. Um, I think we need to integrate more past athletes inside of the J3s and the JOA. Um, I think we should take more. Um, I think we should take more feedback from athletes that's in the system now to see how better that we can do for them, not just for monetary, but for everything else. I think that we need to have uh, an online presence of a magazine where we highlight athletes that's coming up so we can read upon them, so we can acknowledge their greatness from the prep school division all the way to their college to their pro, so we can know them, because that's what America's system does. We know about the great athletes from their kids until they're at a professional level, not just when they reach a pro level so we can say, yeah, you know. I think the um as a minister of sports need to have creative minds around them at all times, not
Mm-hmm.
just to do the bare minimum and think the bare minimum is enough. It's not. It's never enough. It can never be enough. I think we need to develop more systems of coaches,
Mm-hmm.
of people that want to coach. Because there's me, like my personal self, I want to coach, and I would love to coach to give off the knowledge that I've learned over the I'm 36 now, over the 20 odd years that I've been running track and field for.
Which discipline would you coach? Would you coach middle and long distance? Why not?
I think I'm suitable coaching the the
Sprinters?
the 200 and 400.
Oh, 2-4. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, something that I know well. And the funny thing is, my college coach told me that I was gonna be a better coach and athlete. He
Yeah.
always, yeah, because he said that you in details, you're detail orientated. You want to know exactly what point and how I'm supposed to do this, and you can explain well to other athletes on how they're supposed to do that.
Wow.
Huh?
I know that you follow the sport, and we had a lot of special moments in Budapest, but I want to tell me which was your most memorable moment. I know we have a lot of them, but I want to know which was your most memorable moment for Jamaica and your most memorable moment for another country, whichever country.
Um, well, I'm biased, so it's Antonio Watson for me.
Oh my gosh. Every quarter miler that comes on this show, I ask them about that race, and that's the race they pick.
I'm sitting here and I was watching it, and I think I tweeted it too. I was like, if Antonio Watson just run his race, he can't lose,
Yeah.
because Stephen Gardner, and even if Stephen Gardner was in a race, I still believe that he would have beat him.
He would have been his biggest threat.
I think that Antonio Watson does, from watching him perform at the trials, and I said it, I was like, this boy is like a horse. He remind me of Seabiscuit. He likes the competition. And a person that runs with competition in the heart, it's hard to beat them. It's really, really hard to beat someone that knows how to compete and have heart. And run into the grave, you know?
I've been watching his career from he was at high school, and when I saw that he looked very serious when he ran at the racers meet. He
Yes.
ran 44. What was it?
60,
44-7, I think.
78. Yeah. And when I watched it, I was looking, I was like, wait a minute. That's a big PB.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I remember I texted ah who did I text? I texted one of my friends, and I was like, yo, this is Antonio Watson kid. He reminds me of me. And he was like, well, I was like, cause he run 20 points in a 200, and can run the 100.
You
And
can't
I
run
was like,
before.
him can run the 400 very well. Like, he reminds me of me. I was like, and he's faster. And I was like, you know what, this
Yeah.
boy's gonna be good. And watching the race at Budapest, when he reached the last 100 meters, I was like, all he had to do was just run, compete. Don't care about nothing else. Just compete. Let's run
Just
to the
run
line.
his race.
Let's run your
Funny he won the world. Was it the world junior, the world youth? The
world
same
youth.
way. World
Yes.
youth, the exact same way.
Let's
He's
compete.
always coming from behind.
Yes, let's compete. Let's
Yeah.
compete and let's run to the line.
Yeah. Tell me about one of your favorite moment to do with another country. It doesn't matter which country or which event.
It's gonna be funny. Um, I like him and I like her, and it's a tie. I like Shakari Richardson. I really
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
like I love her. I love her
Yeah.
running style. I love her
Yeah.
cadence. I like her hip positioning. I like her high knees. I like her how the way her arms are, her shoulders are always down, and her arm drive is good. I like
Yeah.
her balance, and I like her persona in general. She is very good for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
She will bring traction to the sport. I like Shakari Richardson, and the fact of the
Yeah.
matter, she got lane 9 and she just ran her race. Like I said, lane don't mean nothing, and
Yeah.
she ran her race. It hurt me that she beat Sharika
But
because
she was just better on the day. She was a better one on the day.
because
Hence
I'm a
she won.
Jamaican. But the thing
Yeah.
is, I like her running. I like everything about her running style. I think she's a great athlete, and I think if she keeps her mind to it, her and Sharika is gonna go at it just like how Allison and VCB used to go at it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna bring more traction to the
And
sport.
when you put a fit Elaine in that race, is trouble.
Yes.
Trouble dead when you if you put a fit Elaine in that 100 meter.
I tell someone that Paris is gonna be beautiful.
It is going to be,
And
yeah.
it's always something about running on a brand new track in the summer. And in France, it's a different feeling.
I would love to be there to witness that.
It's
But
a,
it
di-
is going to be special indeed.
it's a different feeling.
Yeah. Who is your next memorable moment at Budapest? Or that's it.
800 meter, the Canadian guy,
Canada versus what? Kenya? Or Kenya versus Kenya?
from the 800 meter. I forgot
What's
his
his
name.
name? Rupp?
Albol. I forgot his
Yeah, I
name.
know who you're talking though. Yeah.
I watched him on a circuit, and I was like, you know what? This boy love leading from the front. And for the first time, he ran his race, just his race. He didn't go out too hard. He just
Yeah.
ran a very even race. And I was like, yo, this boy's gonna win. And I like it. I like watching those type of races because it's tactics and speed. And
Yeah.
it's who can last longer the tactics that is gonna run at that day. And he ran his race, and they didn't run his race. They didn't run their race, and he just
All
ran
you
his.
have to do is just run your race.
Yeah,
Try
and that's
not to concentrate on the next person too
and
much.
and the thing is, David Rudisha is the one that I used to watch and idolize and watch that because that's one thing
Yeah.
about David Rudisha.
Smooth operator.
Yes, he's gonna run his race all the time. He's gonna run his race all the time. And I remember one year he wasn't on the tip top of his shape, and he went to the 400 and he slowed down the race. And I was like, wait, why no one of us run past him? And no one run past him. I'm like, okay, you guys gonna wanna kick with someone that has foot speed in the last part of the race, and then run a very mediocre race and beat them. I was like, see that's just experience. And
Wow.
you guys was afraid to beat him and just run your guys' race. Because if you guys run your race, you gotta beat him.
The last thing on the track. Really, how would you have set up? I want to throw you in the hot seat. How would you have set up the women's 4x1 team?
Brianna Williams out the blocks, Elaine Thompson second leg, Shelly Ann on the third leg, and Sharika Anka.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is a part now where I give you an opportunity to to share your passion. Where are you now? I want you to promote yourself, promote whatever you're working on, your
Well,
business, whatever.
right now, a friend of mine, LaRon Williams, and a friend from college, Dominic, we're looking to get into coaching. We're trying to get a home base where we can have a facility where we just do speed and endurance and mostly the core work of what you need as an athlete. We're looking for a venue where we can build our own like 50-yard track where we can work.
Where would you do that? Back home or in a foreign country?
Right now, it's looking like in a foreign country because to do these things back home, we're gonna need a lot of equipment and stuff. And both of my friends, they're Americans, and they really want to come to Jamaica right now. They too hot.
Why not partner with someone like with a school or
Well, I'm trying to do that with a school right now in America. We're not rushing anything right now. We're trying to see how much athletes we can get underneath our wings to believe in the training programs that we have written down and tell them that we're capable of doing. I have a couple young athletes that I'm working with right now in New York, and I'm trying to recruit a couple athletes from Jamaica right now to believe in my program and believe in I'm capable of doing on the track. And hopefully that is my next step. I really want to take this coaching thing serious.
You should go for it. Where can we find you? Where can people find you on social
Well,
media?
I'm not really a social. The only social media I have is Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the only social media I have.
No IG?
No, 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 not on Instagram.
But
No,
that's where the hippie is. That's where the thing is.
too much, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's too much. I
It
don't, I
is.
don't, I don't have time to be keeping up with that anything. The only reason why I had Instagram when I was competing because my agent forced me to have Instagram. I was never really a social media guy. I'm more a person, meet you in person, face to face, and let's have a conversation. I'm still old school in a
Yeah.
little way. I like to meet people and talk to people face to
Yeah, I
face.
tried to find you on Instagram, but I couldn't. But I've been following you on Twitter for a while,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know that you're on
Twitter,
Twitter.
Twitter, Twitter's my place because I get to speak my mind and no one can tell me nothing.
Is it Twitter or X? What is it called now?
It's X, but it's
What
X,
do
but
we say? Do we still say Twitter even though it's X?
everyone's still gonna say Twitter because X just doesn't even sound X. It doesn't even sound appealing. You can find me on X. It
That's the thing, when you rebrand, it takes a while
takes a while
to,
to get used to. You can find me at X, and if I'm gonna ever gonna do any kind of social media, it's always gonna be my name because
yeah. So the events that you will be coaching or that you want to condition athletes for is 2-4 double.
100, 200, 400, 4, and the hurdles. My
Okay.
friend, my friend Dominic, he was a very good hurdler back in college, so
Okay.
he'll be the one that will be accessing that. Laron is very good at strength and conditioning, and we're gonna all rotate with the sprinting, and we already have a dialect of how we want to train our athletes. And
Hmm.
the one thing I learned of myself and having to be trained by some great coaches. I've been tutelaged by Coach Mills, Bertland Cameron, my high school coach, Trevor Green, my college coach, Richardson, and Larry Wade, and other coaches that's been. Davian Clark is someone that when I was an athlete, I used to text him and ask him stuff or what to do. I just take a little bit of what they taught me and just integrate what I would do as well. And that's what all three of my friends have done. We've taken everything that we've learned from great coaches and what we've read. I read a lot of books. I read Michael Johnson's book, thanks to David. David always tell him to read the Michael Johnson book of his workouts of what he did before a championship. I've been around Usain and learned from what he done through the progression of his championship, and other athletes that are friends. I've always been able to ask them questions of what you used to do and how you used to train, so I can gather so much information so I can integrate in my program and my philosophy. You know.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, with that said, all the best on your endeavors and putting that together. And of course, I'll be hearing from you again. You're doing something similar to what I am working on, but it's it's coming along, but it's something that we need because it is missing from Jamaica. We're not there anymore. So I'm
You see that
actually,
that museum idea? I'm gonna run
yeah.
it by someone.
Yes,
I'm gonna
please.
run it by someone to
Track
see.
and field
Yeah,
museum.
it needs to be happening because we forget about so much great athletes that above our times. And I apologize to all the person that's in the chat that I don't know.
No, they don't hold it against you.
Yeah,
They
I
said it's not
apologize.
your fault. So
I apologize, and I will rewatch this live stream so I can see the names and what you guys said. I will do my due diligence to research and see how well you guys had your career going from college or professional Olympians. So I can watch some races because you can learn from the things that you guys used to do too as well and how you guys used to run. Because I've learned a lot of things from even Grace Jackson on her running style. I learned a lot from the past. So it's not bad to go back to learn, you know?
indeed, indeed. It is said that experience teaches wisdom. But before you go, just a quick game I'm going to play with you. I want you to name a few people, a few people that you've competed with and the school that they went to. Let me see how good your brain is. Well, you're just the other day, so I guess you will remember everybody. Just
Mm,
call some name and tell me which high school they went to. Jamaicans.
okay. Oh man. Let's see here. So Joseph Robertson, Calabar, Tarek Edwards, Wolmers, um, Jermaine Gale, Veer Technical, Damar Murray, Veer Technical, um, Rika Hilton, St. Jago High School, Rash, Ashmead, St. Jago High School, Yon Blake, St. Jago High School.
Mm-hmm. You're doing
Um,
well.
let's see, Davian Clark,
Mm.
KC,
Mr. Fortis.
Leifer Green, KC, Kieran Stewart, KC, Hansel Parchment, Morant Bay to KC, Javier Bell, Morant Bay High School, um, Jason Young, Nib School, Usain Bolt, Nib School, um, Jesus, so much.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. But you've done well.
So, but
It is a lot. It is a lot. Trust me. I'm doing a database on the athletes, and it is a lot, a lot, a
that's a
lot,
lot
a lot
of
of athletes. A
and
lot.
I was one of the athletes that came through of some of the '90s to the late 2000s. So I got the opportunity to compete against and compete with some of the greats that need to be recognized as greats.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And please let us talk about that museum, track and field museum. Yep.
Yes, it'll be nice. It will look good it will look good in Independence Park. I think they need to redo Independence Park. I really think they need to redo it.
Yeah. We definitely.
I think they need to put the track and field, the track by itself, the football field by itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the stadium can be compact, like how they
Mm,
have it in Europe. So it can
mm.
be more compact, so the athletes, them, the attendance,
Yes. Can look
patrons
better. Yeah.
can look better with the athletes right there, right in front of their face, so it can be more visible. Because not
Yeah.
everyone can see everything from that stadium. Not
We definitely need some thinkers, some visionaries, and all of that. We can do a lot more because it would be a big. And another thing I look at, it could be a big attraction for tourists. Can you
yes,
imagine? Even if you come into Montego Bay as a tourist, you say to your guide, "I want to go into Kingston and tour that museum. I want
yeah.
to go and see Usain Bolt
hmm
picture, whomever. I want to go and tour that museum."
And,
And I don't know.
and even with the athletes that are getting the statues, I really think that they need to give more athlete statues as well.
Hmm.
I don't think
There's
they
more
should.
that we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they should always just use like the top athletes, like all of the ones that's like there's other athletes that were top too that just didn't reach.
Indeed.
They
Indeed.
didn't get 4, 6, 9 gold medals, but them have medals too. They should
And
get
they
it.
have done a lot too.
They
They've
have done a lot too.
contributed. They have
Yes,
contributed to the legacy.
past and present athletes, they're supposed to get their
Yeah.
shine
Yeah.
loves
Yeah.
too while
Yeah.
they're here, not when they're dead. Because
Yeah.
you can't just celebrate people when they're gone. You're supposed to
I
celebrate.
totally agree with you. I
Yes,
totally agree.
it
Totally.
feels
And
it feels better.
yeah. And this was a very good chat. Thank you very much, Edino, for being here. And I am personally thanking you for your contribution to our rich legacy, to Jamaica's rich legacy in track and field. And continue to give back. And wherever we can do something together, let us do something because a lot needs to be done and it can be done.
I
And
agree.
I'm going to give you the last word.
Well, I thank you for having me, Heather. I've been a little bit nervous, a little bit nervous, and I'm glad that we had this conversation of brainstorming ideas. And like I said, I'm gonna go back to the upper heads about this, about the museum, and I hope that we can come together as athletes and try to do our best for the country, for the black, green, and gold, to continue the rich legacy of track and field. And I thank you for having me, and to the viewers, thank you for viewing with me and Heather tonight, and I appreciate it.
And thank you for taking the time out to be here. It means a lot. And let's do this. Thank you very
Yes,
much and have a good night and enjoy your weekend.
you too.
Thank you.
All right.
Guys, thank you very much for being here tonight. This was another great chat with another outstanding athlete, another Jamaican gem on on the show tonight. Thank you all for being here. Mr. Phillips, thanks for being here. Tony Phillips. Monica Lewis said she was late, but it's better to be late than never. Sandy British, my producer, thank you very much for being here. Olympian Dorothy Scott Genius, thank you. Another outstanding Olympian. Monica, I big you up already. Yes. Marlene Green, thank you for being here. Everyone. Another Olympian, Etlin Tate was here. Another Olympian, Davian Clark was here. Another Olympian, Ruth Williams Simpson was here. Thank you all for being here. Long distance, our distance running was here. Thank you for being here. Latoya, Clark, Xavier, Duncan, everybody who stopped by tonight to listen to us chatting. Thank you very, very much. And as I always say, thank you for being here. And next week, we will be back when we will be talking some more about track and field business. We will be talking about managing, how we manage, how we lead, and all about those things. So join us next Thursday when we will have another chat. Thank you all for being here. And guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, whatever you need to do, please, to show some love, because this is about Jamaica. This is about our legacy. And we're here to share the knowledge and to share the legacy with you all. So please and thanks, like, share, subscribe, and share the content. And thank you all for being here tonight, another Thursday night, wherever you are. Good night, good morning, good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, and guys, tomorrow streaming live here will be Daniel England will be having a sports summit in Kingston, Jamaica, and it will be streaming here live from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, guys, please stop by when you can and check out the content, because his summit is about preparing our student athlete to take on adulthood. So it has to do with just information, sharing information with them about how they approach their career or their life after high school. So, guys, you can come hang out with us a little bit tomorrow. So we can hear a little bit about what the Daniel England Foundation is doing. And in another few weeks, not too long from now, we are going to have some Olympians, a group of Olympians from the 70s and the 80s, who will be coming on this live to share about their nonprofit organization. And we want to support them. So, guys, remember now, we're going to have people like Dorothy Scott Genius, Miss Vilma Charlton. For those of you who don't know who Vilma Charlton is, she's also another Olympian. Ruth Williams Simpson will also be here. So it is about sharing and spreading the love and doing what we can for the future stars of Jamaica track and field. And as I always say, peace, one Jamaica. Thank you guys for being here. Have a good night. Bye.